Hey y'all, it's Tony. I know, everybody's made chocolate delight, but I don't think you've seen chocolate delight like this. At least, I don't think so. This recipe for chocolate delight is creamy chocolate delight, and I owe this invention to not only, let's give thanks to Del Mem, he's the king of chocolate delight and also the California kicker, because that's where I first heard about chocolate delight. But I also want to give thanks to my Facebook friend, God's Desire for Me, because she's the one who posted this recipe for creamy chocolate delight. You start off with your coconut oil, of course, and I like to use the organic, virgin, extra virgin, unrefined, expeller pressed coconut oil. This one's by Central Market Organics. And some cocoa. I have some dark chocolate that's been mixed with regular chocolate. I think it's Hershey's brand. So I want to start off with just a half a cup of the cocoa. That's one of my dry ingredients. I want to add some cinnamon, a half teaspoon of cinnamon to the dry ingredients. And in this case, I'm using powdered sweetener. You could use liquid stevia and just add it to your coconut oil, but I like Truvia. So I'm going to open up 4 packets of Truvia and add it to my cocoa. See, that's 3 and 4. The next thing you want to do is sift the dry ingredients. I also did not invent this tip. I got it from, I think Carol, my YouTube friend Carol made a video on some tips for making the best chocolate delight, and so that includes sifting the dry ingredients. I'm going to pour the dry ingredients into my sifter and sift them into another container. That keeps you from having any funky lumps of dry chocolate left. Nice and smooth. The one thing to remember about this recipe is that it's best if all of the ingredients, the liquid ingredients, are right at room temperature. So I have my coconut oil that's been melted, but it's not hot. And I also have the secret ingredient, which is coconut milk creamer. You want to make sure that this isn't too terribly cold. So I've got my dry ingredients sifted, and I want to add my coconut oil to my dry ingredients. By the way, I'm using a lot of chocolate delight recipes use equal parts of coconut oil and cocoa. I like to use just a little bit more coconut oil than cocoa. For me, sometimes it's too strong if I use a 1-to-1 ratio. So for this recipe, I've got a half cup of cocoa and 2/3 cups of the coconut oil. Okay, to that I want to add a 1/4 cup of the coconut coffee creamer. Now you'll notice it starts to curdle a little bit, but if you keep whisking, it'll even out. Now, I've got some candy molds I bought at Michael's. They were just a couple of dollars a piece. I have one that looks like a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I have one that just looks like little bonbons. And what I've done is sprayed it with a little bit of coconut oil pan, or coconut oil cooking spray. That way they won't stick once everything gets cool. You want to work kind of quickly on this, because as it cools off, it gets a little bit thicker. In fact, I talked too long. I'm going to warm it up just a little bit in the microwave. All right, it's the right consistency now. Just pour it into the molds. I'm going to put my Reese's Moles in the fridge to get hard, and then I'm going to add some peanut butter to them. These are all ready to go. I'm going to drop a few Magnuts into some of my little bonbons. My Magnuts were really big, so I've kind of chopped them up a bit. And I just want to gently push a Magnut down into about a half dozen of them. So I put the Reese's shaped moles with a little bit of chocolate in it into the freezer for about 10 minutes, so it gives it a chance to get firm. And now I'm going to take my peanut butter, just the tip of a spoon, and put a little bit of peanut butter on top of each of the candies. Doesn't matter if it's messy. Just a little bit. So now I'm ready to take the remainder of my melted creamy chocolate delight and just pour a little bit on top of each of the cups that already have peanut butter in them. Push the peanut butter down so it's not sticking up. Pop it back in the freezer for about 15 minutes. So now I've got my creamy dark chocolate delight and my Reese's peanut butter cup chocolate delight. Y'all can have this on P2. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the other things I like to add into my chocolate delight besides cinnamon that we talked about earlier. How about some Mexican chili powder? Love chili powder and chocolate. There's my coconut extract that I talked about earlier. And the last thing I like to add is some really good sea salt, like a coarse sea salt, to sprinkle a little bit on the top of my chocolate delight. That's it. That's my version of chocolate delight. Make yourself some. Talk to you later. Bye.